I'm so afraid of losing something I love that I refuse to love anything. Maybe it's just me, but a couple of people I know have ended long-term relationships recently. But it's interesting that the burning question that was asked before the relationship started was the same question that was asked during the relationship and after its end. Is this going to work? Honestly, who doesn't ask this before potentially embarking on a fantastic voyage of love or a debilitating storm of resentment? This is the question that keeps us up at night. This is the question that makes some of us do nothing at all, while others jump headfirst knowing that they won't get answers until someone makes a move. In such situations, we often turn to a really old person or a dead guy for wisdom. Yeah, they tend to have a lot of it. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Bear in mind that everything that exists is already fraying at the edges and in transition, subject to fragmentation and to rot, or that everything was born to die." Perhaps the default attitude to this is one of sadness. It's depressing to think that this amazing thing is going to end one day. It's upsetting to consider a life without this person, or that your daydreams about being with this person will never be realized. Or worse, to know that things could work out if only things were different. And yet, how does this change the fact that everything must end? You and your beloved are going to die one day. Therefore, the relationship must end. But then again, when we talk about loving someone, we always say that we're going to love them forever. Honestly, we're just lying to ourselves and to our partners. You can't love someone forever because they aren't going to exist forever, and neither are you. And don't even bother with the reincarnation bit and finding each other in another life. You don't get to talk like that after basically declaring you and your beloved as immortal. What you really are is irrational and falling in love, which is normal. It's normal for this to happen. After all, you're getting shots of feel-good neurotransmitters pumped into your bloodstream. You're going to say nutty things. The problem is not being sober enough to know that you're saying nutty things. Western culture pushes a narrative that romantic love is larger than life, and we buy it hook, line, and sinker. What Aurelius is highlighting is that literally everything is impermanent. As a result, the question of if things are going to work in your relationship is the wrong question because you're fixated on it lasting until the day one of you dies. But have you ever considered that your partner could die young? Imagine being 2 years into a relationship and your partner dies. I mean, it obviously isn't what you had in mind, but it isn't that different from being broken up with 20 years later, or them cheating, or realizing you both have divergent paths in life goals. Regardless of what happened, the relationship is over. Counseling could help solve the problems in the relationship and cause it to be better, but counseling will actually sober you to the reality that love is a decision and not some intense roller coaster ride. So instead of worrying if the relationship is going to work, instead focus on being the best partner you can be. Choose people who share your values, interests, and want the same things out of life. Not because you want to ensure that the relationship works, but because it's the best formula for relationship enjoyment. The same applies to anything in life. Aurelius' quote wasn't only about romance. It was about life itself. Your body is subject to change, decay, and death. Your stuff, such as your house, car, or phone, is subject to change, decay, and death. Your career is subject to change, decay, and death. Even the planet is subject to change, decay, and death. So if the fundamentals for life itself are going to end, it's safe to say your relationship will too. As a result, you should enjoy what you have because this is it. This moment is just another one closer to the end. So instead of worrying about if it will work or if it will end, which will rob you of any joy, Live it to the fullest with the people you enjoy the ride with the most.